It's Carter, president of ConstitutionalRightsPack.com. Go there, subscribe for your free daily newsletter and my personal email every afternoon. I want to talk for a few minutes in what I'm going to start calling my jog blog, because I always end up here. If those of you who follow me are familiar with the setting, to talk to you just briefly about the observations that have just kind of gone through my mind as I ran my couple miles. And the observation, the ideation that occurred to me today was, what happens to a nation when it goes from moral decline to absolute total moral decay? Decay. Just, you look around you and you say, it's gone. It's gone. The standards, the mores, the manners even of proper etiquette, and certainly the level on which we should behave are simply gone. They're gone. Church going, it's a thing of the past. Among the young people, the idea of darkening the door at church is just an anathema. And yet they have this own code among themselves of virtue signaling, where they do things like, you have white privilege and you should be ashamed. And that's a moral code. In the first place, it's wrong. You know, I grew up for the past 77 years without a damn bit of white privilege. I had to work for everything I had. And around me now, frankly, with all the welfare and the handouts and the DEI, the overboard push for equity, I see a lot of black privilege that's not available to me or any other white person. So it's all phony. It's a phony man-made morality that occurs in any society when they eschew the morals and the standards of moral excellence that come from not just the Bible, but pretty much any religious code, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, the writings of Confucius or Buddha. When you abandon them, what happens? See, and here's part of the problem. In the United States, they're gone. They're gone. You know, we have the moral conduct. Even people you know and respect live together and have children, and it seems to never occur to them, get married and sanctify your bond, your union, okay? If not for your sakes, so you can look at each other and know you've made a genuine commitment to each other, and not just you're joined at the hip, so to speak, but for the sake of your children. How about it? How about doing that? But no, their morals are so far gone it doesn't even cross their mind. How about the reaction to the COVID hoax? When even the most religious people allowed a fascist government to close the churches and bar the doors in direct defiance of the Constitution, protection of freedom of religion. And the response from the Christian community was, I hope I don't get sick, I don't want to die. Oh my God, what's going to happen to me? Instead of, we think our faith in God will pull us through, which it most certainly would have, we now know, without any mask and without any, you better stand there, little mangly Fauci, you better stand 6 feet apart or we're all going to die. Well, now he admits that maybe that wasn't right. Well, most of us knew it wasn't right at the time, but we lost our churches, we sacrificed our freedom of religion, we sacrificed our moral standards. That's what we did. That's what we did. And you look all around you, you find that there are like 14% of the population now are black brothers and sisters. The younger ones seem to have decided that in their community, which was once a community bound together by the strongest religious tenets, belief in God and service to their Lord and Savior in America, now they're seem to be bound together by some sort of bizarre hatred of all things white. And you say to yourself, I said to a good, dear black friend of mine, a brilliant man who is a college professor the other day, have you ever said to him, when you're 14% of the population, you decide to wage war on the other 86%, it probably is not going to turn out real well. And not only that, but it's immoral. It's immoral. Now I'm going to close with this. Here's one of the biggest problems with our total moral decay, not decline, we're beyond that. It's not happening in other nations. The African nations don't fly the gay flag in the portico of their White Houses. They just don't do it. Nor does China, nor does Japan, nor do they mutilate their own children and eviscerate the breast of their girls and castrate their little boys. They don't do it. They don't allow it. Only in the United States, swelling and moral decay, do we have that kind of behavior. Do we have that kind of behavior? And it's being totally rejected in other nations, as is the United States and its moral code of do as we say or we'll wage war against you. Okay? So that's where we are now. And we have one last chance. I'm just going to say it on November 5th to turn this thing around. You may say, well, he's not the Vestal Virgin who guards the sacred flame. No, but he is a man who knows a moral code, who knows, for instance, it's wrong to slaughter little unborn babies up to the moment of birth, rip them apart, burn them, and then throw them in the fire and the trash. He knows that's wrong, whereas the one in office now, he says, we're going to show you people on the Supreme Court, you're going to have abortion, you're going to be sorry for what you... What? This from a president who at one time was pro-life, but then found it political expedient and to embrace immorality and be a dastardly supporter of abortion. But you can't expect a moral code from a man who showered with his little daughter against her will up to the point of her puberty. It's in the diary. It's in the diary. That's where we are. That's what we've got as president now. And on November 5th, we have a chance to turn all that around. So, folks, this is the fight of our lives, and the fights for our souls as well. So let's do this thing.